Hello, mystical souls, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to my home. Today, we are going to be doing something a little bit different. We are going to be harnessing the power of tarot to answer a question about Harry and Meghan. So, let's get to it. So, cross my palms with silver, or gold, or even diamonds, and we shall begin. So I have pre-shuffled this deck. Give them another shuffle now as we go along. So the question that I'm going to be answering is about Harry and Meghan. I want to know what 2024 holds for Harry and Meghan. So the question that I am going to, or the intent that I am going to put into this deck of tarot cards is, what does the future hold? What is the year going to be like for Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex? So there we go. We have asked the tarot cards a very particular question. I know you can't see all of my face, but I want you to be able to see what I'm doing down here. So I am going to do a 3-card spread, which I think will I'm hoping maybe work into sort of represent the first half of the year, the second, the middle part, and then the end. So what I'm going to do is to draw 3 completely random cards. There we go. Let's give them one final shuffle. Now I'm going to spread them and then let my intuition sort of guide me into choosing 3 of the cards. So I'm feeling that one for maybe the first half of the year. Well, the first quarter, if you like. For the first third of the year. That for the second, and we're going to go that one for the end. Okay, so we have drawn the cards. By the way, I'm not an experienced tarot reader by any stretch of the imagination, but I do have a little interest. So let's see. So again, we will put our hands on and we will ask the question, what does 2024 hold for Harry and Meghan? Okay, so let's turn the cards over. I think I might do it separately. So we'll do this one first. So for the first sort of portion of the year, we have the Princess of Swords. I did not make this up. The Princess of Swords. Ooh, what does that tell me? I mean, I will pop the card on the screen so that you can see. But, I mean, definitely the Princess of Swords. Now, we know that technically Meghan is Princess Henry. So technically she is a princess. So does this indeed represent Meghan? The princess in the picture also has red hair. Now, Meghan does not have red hair, but Harry has red hair. And to me, that instantly kind of signifies that Harry is on her mind. He is sort of top of sort of her mind, perhaps even her existence. To me, that is quite telling. And we'll get a little bit to that in a moment. I think, she's carrying a sword of combat. It looks like there are lots of kind of seagulls. I think they're seagulls floating around. So the seagulls potentially could represent Meghan's enemies, if you like. And I think she is definitely trying to go into battle with those enemies. It's like the line has been drawn, and she is going into battle. I don't know necessarily who the gulls or the birds represent, but I'm imagining it could be members of her own family, members of the royal family, the institution, media, anyone who tries to get in the way of Megsy Baby 2.0. I think she is trying to take aim at. She is trying to slay. Now, I think her veil is kind of flowing around her body. I think the veil represents the obstacles that she has in her way. You've got the enemies that she's trying to hit and cut down with the sword, all of the shenanigans. It should really be known as the shenanigan sword, shouldn't it? Because that's what she's trying to do. She's trying to battle her enemies with her shenanigans. But the veil, I think, represents this kind of royal tie. And it's coming from the hair, which is red, which, as I got a sense that the red represents Harry. So I feel like, although they try and capitalize and sell their royal connections are also holding them back. Could that represent, in a wider form, titles and styles? Because actually, those titles and styles, the HRH, although they don't use it, they do still have it. Harry's place in the line of succession, it's holding them back, and it's like it's dragging her down. She can't break free, and she can't fight the enemies that she perceives that she has with the shenanigan sword, while still being a royal. I think this signifies the beginning of the end for Harry and Meghan's royal titles. They are the purveyors of their own destiny. Their choice of words, deeds, actions are making it so that having the HRH, being fifth in line to the British throne, being the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, technically being, a Princess Henry, is holding her back for her main ambitions, which of course is to make money. Megsy Baby 2.0 wants to go and crack America. Well, I don't think you're going to be doing it, my love, because you come across with all the titles as being a complete hypocrite. There's also a hill behind, which I think represents the magnitude. There is a big hill to climb. I think I'm going to call that the PR hill. That is the PR hill. And to get to the top, to get to the trees, to get to freedom, if you like, Meghan and Harry have got to work the PR machine. And at the moment, it is not going in their favour. They are damning their own PR. So they've got a long, long, long way to climb. In the distance, it looks like there are troubled skies, sort of almost right over their head. There's a little bit of a light, a little bit of a glimmer far into the future. I don't know, that could be many, 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 many years into the future, but certainly the turbulent sky above represents the here and now. Yeah, I don't think there's too much necessarily symbolism in the clothes that the Princess of Swords is wearing. But, well, actually, it's blue. And, of course, the Cambridges, the Prince and Princess of Wales now, it was very much their colour when they were the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge. Now William and Catherine are the Prince and Princess of Wales. Blue is their sort of unofficial family colour. And, she's the Princess of Swords is almost being worn by the institution, by the royal family. And I think that is quite telling as well. It's almost like this kind of wolf in sheep's clothing vibe that I think is going on. Meghan was a pretender. She was a pretender to the titles, a pretender that didn't really fit, or rather, she perceived that she did not fit. But yet, the clothes are now wearing her because it's all that they are trying to capitalize on. So, with regard to this kind of first third of the year, I think it's all about doing battle, and I think the battle lines have been drawn. I think Harry and Meghan will try to climb that hill behind. They will try and reach that patch of light that's in the distance, but I don't think that's going to happen, and I think we'll find out a little bit more about where this is heading when we turn the second card. Right, so it is time now to turn this second card. So we have the Three of Pentacles. So let's take a look at this one and see what it means. So I'm having to read this with sort of a mind of what we've just heard about the first part of the year. So I can see there are three figures. There is some writing on a scroll. There is what looks like craftsmen. There's definitely three very distinct figures. There is the three pentacles. There is the royal red colour. What I am seeing here is a plan. I think, it doesn't matter that we can't read the writing. I think, you know, that goes to show what is going on in Harry and Meghan's minds. They have a plan. We don't know exactly what that plan is, other than maybe to capitalise off their royal connections. They hope that they are able to collaborate with others, the agency, that media, the podcast company that Meghan has joined. I like to call it Lemonade. So they have collaborations in the process. They still have their Netflix deal. But I think it's all about how they want to translate this plan using the people that are around them. Harry and Meghan are not known to, I suppose, take advice and to follow rules and procedures that other people say. I mean, that's another thing that this scroll could represent, is kind of rules and procedures. It could even represent the Sandringham Agreement. And I think to work collaboratively with all the people they are involved with, including the royal family, would be a way of ensuring that they get to this light area here. But will they do it? Do I think that Megsy Baby 2.0 has turned a new leaf and will be working collaboratively, taking other people's ideas? No, I do not. I think that she will be trying to do things entirely her own way, setting aside the advice of skilled people that are around them, and they will be trying to do it their own way and making a complete pig's ear of it. They will not be coming out of this middle point of the year very well. I see trouble on the horizon, and I see trouble with the partners that they have chosen to work with and the partners that they are choosing to work against, i.e. the royal family. I think by pushing away like they have done in the past has been to damage the collaboration that they can have with their family, with Netflix, with Spotify. They've burnt bridges with Spotify. That has now gone. And I just think this is the hardest thing for Harry and Meghan to do, is to work collaboratively. They have their own ideas, they have their own plan, and if somebody gets in the way of their plan, if someone gives advice that they do not like, that's not to their favour, then those people go. We have seen the amount of administration and personnel that's been coming in and out of the Sussexes, in and out of Snake Mountain. Snake Mountain is very, very slippery. And I think the main problem is that they cannot collaborate and they will not take good, sound advice from those people around them. And that is what I think about that card there. Right, next we are going to have the Queen of Swords. So this is actually, so we start off with the Princess of Swords and we end on the Queen of Swords. Let's see what this is all about. Okay, so what I am seeing in the Queen of Swords is very much a progression from what we saw in the Princess of Swords card. We see a queen who looks very much in the style of Queen Elizabeth I, but I also think that could almost represent Queen Elizabeth II and the kind of wisdom from her teachings. But let's, for a moment, the Queen in this picture is holding a sword, almost like the Sword of Justice. We saw the Sword of Justice being carried in front of the King, in front of King Charles for his coronation. So it's a very, very royal symbol. I see a butterfly, I see statues, I see a clear sky with a little bit of cloud. It's almost like, I see continuation from this kind of step. I see 2024, now that I can see all of these cards together, I see 2024 as this sort of make or break year. It's a year where they're trying to fight their enemies. They're still trying to have court cases. They're still trying to get retribution and apologies left, right, and centre. And they're still trying to plot, to try and make Megxit work. This middle card shows the mid portion of the year. I think is not necessarily going to be particularly outrageous. I think it all depends on how they collaborate with the people around them. The Queen of Swords, I think, again, represents this communication. It depends how Harry and Meghan can communicate what they have done during the first sort of, 8 months of the year, how that translates to the public, how they can communicate it. Meghan is trying to be just and fair. It's like, don't make me laugh. But she's trying to be all of these things that she thinks in her head is true. We all know it to be a complete load of baloney, but she thinks it's true. I think she's convinced herself that all of her lies and her web of deceit is true, and it's not. But how will the public feel about Harry and Meghan at the end of the year? I don't think it's going to be favourable. So do I think we will see Netflix dropping Harry and Meghan early rather than 2025? No. Do I think they will push ahead and try and work collaboratively to do some of the deals they have in the pipeline? Yes. How well will that be received by the end of 2024? I don't know, but that will then set Harry and Meghan up for how 2025 is going to go. And I've got a sense that 2025 is going to be completely disastrous for Harry and Meghan. That is the year that I predict that they will lose Netflix, that they will lose the podcast that Meghan has just set up, and pretty much everything else. Now, I can see in this picture that there are, certain statues. Some of them, the one at the top looks a little bit fed up. They're sort of, they're resting on their hands and they're sort of covering their faces. Like I say, they are on tenterhooks. Harry and Meghan at the end of 2024 are going to be seriously worried about 2025. And that is how I see it. I mean, if you look at the Queen's face, it's not looking particularly happy. She's not smiling. Let's put it that way. You can see all the gold at the top sort of swirling around her head, which kind of, represents what they're chasing. They are chasing after fame. They're chasing after fortune. They're chasing after wealth. There is a red rose, a few red roses all kind of dotted around. And I'm not quite sure that that represents love. We know that red roses, typically represent love for Valentine's Day and such like. But they're kind of sparse. They aren't kind of concentrated into one area. They're all over the place. Does that mean that the love that Harry and Meghan have, or the love that Meghan had for Harry's money, Harry's wealth, Harry's influence, Harry's family, is that waning and becoming a little bit more sparse by the end of 2024? So we've gone from the sword being held in a very combat-like way to being held up almost like a defense, like, this is my truth, this is my justice. And like I say, they will be judged at the end of the year on that. So that is where I kind of see 2024 going in terms of the portions of the year. Do let me know what you think in the comment section below. So thank you for watching. I do know that this was a very different video for this channel, but I do like to sometimes explore different things, different themes, and have a little bit of fun along the way. Please let me know how you think I did with reading the tarot, especially if you are someone that's really, really, really into tarot. Let me know how you think I did. And let me know if you could see anything else in those cards as well. How do you think the kind of three card split went? Would you have, come to any different conclusion? And also, let me know in the comment section any other questions that you would like Mystic Elliot to to have a look at in future videos. So thank you for watching this, whatever it was. If you've enjoyed it, then please give it a big old thumbs up. Don't forget to share on social media. And of course, do hit the bell so that you know whenever I upload a new video. And also, don't forget to cross my palm with silver.